Hello, everybody, and how's it going? Welcome back to the 90th minute. We've got a guest with us, Cheyenne from the Next Generation podcast. It's been a while since he's been on here, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'm really excited to be
Welcome.
back.
Yeah. Liam, Greg, Matt will be on later. He'll show up later where we do a little bit of a transition because he didn't have much time to be on, but we included and talked with him about La Liga and whatnot, so that'll be later on. Yeah, Liam, Greg can show up. Liam, he was supposed to be, and then he got the ring to work. He had to go make the bread. I see where your priorities, man. I see where they are. And, I'm coming for you. After this podcast, I'm going to hunt down Liam and say, you should have been on, man. Okay, I'll stop. But, Cheyenne, I heard it's been snowing in Seattle. You're from Seattle, right?
Yes, that's correct. It's snowing like crazy today. Yeah, I know. These past couple days is wild.
If you're in the thick of winter, storms are brewing, it looks like it's going to be 1 to 3 inches of snow, and you need a bit of a trim of that hibernation bush. Well, that's taken down in your pants, all right? Luckily, our partners at Manscape specialize in products to make sure you're walking around town with beautiful snowballs. That's right. We got the lawnmower 3.0 right in here. You guys, remember, don't forget to use 20% off. Use code 90th. At checkout at Manscaped. You can get some good old ball deodorant. What is this? Yeah, ball deodorant. You got the lawnmower 3.0. I'm not going to turn it on because it make a lot of noise, but it's got a flashlight. You can use in the shower. You can use in the jacuzzi if you got, the balls to do that. I'm sorry, that's cringe. And also, what else we got in this little pouch? We got the Crop Reviver. Beautiful. I don't really know what that does. It's a ball toner. Wow. If you ever need a tone, you're down there. It is Valentine's as we're recording this, so if you picked up some Manscaped with our code, smart man, smart lady, whoever, you never know. And we also got the fantastic Manscaped Refined Cologne. I love it. It smells like, Messi after he scores a goal, because I assume that's, or Ronaldo. I assume it smells like greatness, right? I know Liam is much better than me at doing these, but yeah, don't forget, guys, to use 20% off at Manscaped at checkout on whatever products, the Lawnmower 3.0, Ball Reviver, deodorant, or cologne. It's great. Remember, that's 20% off and free shipping. Manscaped, code 90th. Use it next time you're at checkout. All right, let's get into the football. Let's get into the Premier League. There's so much football action going on this past week. You got FA Cup, Club World Cup, Premier League, but we're going to start off with the Premier League. We're recording this on Sunday, of course. Which matches should we kick off first with, Lucas?
Let's just talk about the ones that happened today, I think.
Definitely. We're going to start off with the early kickoff. That was Manchester United versus West Brom. I think that was the first match of the day, yes?
It was the second match of the day, but we can start with that one because, it involves your club, Manchester United, who drew West Brom 1-1. Just take the floor for now.
Boys, as simple as this. I think some United fans are not going to be, agree with me, but maybe they did. We deserve to lose that game. That was a shocking defensive display on many parts with Maguire and Lindelof. Both are center back duos. Not what you want. And, we were kind of lucky to get a 1-1 draw. I mean, Bruno got a nice goal just before the halftime. But essentially what happened, the first goal is that the West Brom striker, who was it again? Diagne just kind of outstrengths Lindelof and puts in the back in that second minute. And that was just poor defending on Lindelof to just have him get him around like that. I don't know what he's doing. Not the ideal start. And when that happened, basically, I think West Brom was like, all right, club is set in the bottom 6. Let's just sit back for the next 90 couple minutes and try to hit them on the break. It's essentially what they did. And they actually created some good chances because I think clubs are starting to figure out if you pressure Maguire and Lindelof, you can probably get a goal or a good chance. And that's what's been happening with those two. I know West Brom, they had a couple clear chances also throughout the game. I know there was a moment where Maguire was shielding. I think it was Diagne as well. I can't remember. And he's shielding him. And so Diagne just gets around and pushes him and almost gets and De Gea saves it. It could have been a goal. I think Maguire was hoping for a foul, but, come on, just defend better. Why are you hoping for a foul? So, yeah, did we get lucky? 100%. Did we deserve to win? I don't think so. I think we're very lucky to get a draw, and United once again dropped points against a bottom half team. Sheffield, West Brom, Fulham. We were lucky to get points against them, maybe. But yeah, and Cheyenne, he's just laughing. He's a Chelsea supporter. He loves watching United crumble.
In all consolation to you guys, I think every big team has drawn against West Brom this season. They have been a tough opponent for big teams to break down.
City,
Chelsea, Liverpool. Everyone's had a tough time against them. So I take it on the chin. You got the draw. Let bygones be bygones.
We created chances. Yes, they weren't clear chances in my opinion. Look, I made some notes down here, okay? I made notes. I was writing down notes.
It's serious.
Yeah, it's serious.
I came in prepared.
Notes.
So I'm starting to be more professional here. So Lindelof, poor defending, of course. Great assist from Luke Shaw. In my opinion, he's arguably been top 3 left backs in the league this season. Maybe the best left back in the Prem this year. Defensive lineup was just simply unorganized. Luke Shaw was frustrated at one point with the back line, trying to keep players accountable. Fair enough. That's especially when we were getting countered. It just seems so shaky. In my opinion, United need to create more clear-cut chances, not kind of trying to walk past defenders and whatnot. Yeah, like I said, they can't seem to break the low block. Harry Maguire, is he a ball-playing center back? There was a lot of moments where he's kind of like trying to drive the ball into the box, and no one's kind of like. It's like, here, what did I write down here? Yeah, Maguire and Lindelof. Yeah, if you pressure them, you get a good goal. I wrote down a lot. Damn. No, essentially with Maguire, when he has the ball, it's kind of like he's a CDM almost, and he's kind of walking the ball into the box. No one's really pressuring him. And it kind of surprised me when he does that. I'm like, is this like one of his only good assets right now? Like, I don't know. And yeah, and then Van de Beek, he came on, or as the commentator said, Van de Bench. So yeah, that's rough.
I do know result from Reddit here, expected goals. We've mentioned this stat a few times in the past. You were talking about West Brom deserving to win. Well, expected goals, definitely agree with you. It said West Brom had 1.29 expected goals, while United had 0.57. So
I was going to say, it's essentially United fans are disappointed with drawing West Brom, and West Brom supporters are disappointed that they actually didn't get the win. So, yeah, that's not fun.
I think we can move on from that, though, We'll continue with more of the Sunday matches. Arsenal Leeds United was probably the marquee match of the day. Leeds United been in decent form recently. Arsenal, they've had some poor results as of late on their end, but Arsenal do get a 4-2 victory. It looked like it was going to be very comfortable, but Leeds brought 2 back in the second half. But overall, a great performance by Arsenal. Any thoughts on this one, guys?
Aubameyang might be back.
Maybe, I know, but the thing is, with Leeds United, they're kind of known to concede a lot, but also attack as well. So it's like, it's just one of those.
They're very inconsistent.
Yeah, exactly. It just took advantage of Leeds' play style, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, for
Leeds United, I've mentioned this on the podcast a few times. Like, whenever they're going to go up against teams that are better than them on paper, they're likely going to lose that game, because with how they play, they leave themselves very open, which really benefits teams of high quality. But when they play teams that are similar level to them or even worse, on some cases they may lose those games, but on other cases they might dominate. And we've seen that several times throughout this season. I think Arsenal, it was fun to see them playing Saka, Odegaard, and Smith Rowe together. I think that's
going to be midfield right there.
Yeah, it's going to be intriguing to see how those guys work together for the rest of the season. But yeah, I thought Saka had some incredible runs with the ball during this game, and Aubameyang with a hat-trick. I mean, probably a couple months too late, mate. I had you on my fantasy team for the longest time. I gave up on fantasy, and now you're scoring.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. Let Arsenal fans enjoy this victory as they take on Man City next week.
Oh, it's not gonna end well.
You never know. There could be some upset. I doubt it, but
no. Arsenal. No. It's like Arsenal playing against City's. Like, what's a bad combination in your guys' eyes? Like, I don't know. It's just not. It's not gonna blend well.
like Barcelona,
it's
Bayern.
Simple as that. Yeah, exactly. It's along those lines. It just doesn't end well for Arsenal. But hey, you never know. They could maybe break that duck.
Yeah, it could very well happen. Let's quickly move on to the other matches on Sunday. Fulham versus Everton. I wasn't able to catch the match fully. I just saw the goals, and supposedly Fulham were the better team in this match. And their new signing, who made his first start for Fulham, Maja, scores a brace. And Everton, they have like a million games in hand, but they lose this one. Of course, Greg isn't here to talk about his Fulham, but I'm sure he'll be really happy seeing that result.
I kind of find it funny because, the one time Fulham finally win, Greg's at work. Yeah. What are the odds, man?
And it's against a tough opponent, too. A really good opponent.
Honestly, Everton.
In top form.
Poor Greg. I mean, maybe this is because, he's been, doing the live stream on the 90th minute Twitch, where he's doing the weekend league as Fulham. And he's doing well, so maybe, it's kind of like...
Some of the players are watching, so they're getting motivated.
Yeah, exactly. So, Greg, maybe you're the key, the catalyst. So, good result for them. They're trying to stay up, but Greg thinks they're going to get relegated.
It's tough for them.
They will.
They'll have to get results like this for the rest of the season because the gap is still a little large at the moment. But before we get into the Saturday matches, let's just quickly mention Wolves defeated Southampton. Both sides were in poor form. Wolves got a goal from Ruben Neves and Pedro Neto, who is getting a lot of attraction by people, especially Chelsea fans.
Honestly, didn't even hear about this. This is a surprise to me.
I don't know. I just see a bunch of Chelsea fans praising Pedro Neto constantly.
Cheyenne hears things I don't hear, and, he hears things we hear, so...
I don't know. For me, in that game, the key takeaway for me is how well Minamito's playing. He played so well yet again in that game. Even though he didn't score, but I think he's been a great free addition for Southampton.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Southampton, that's 6 losses in a row for them, which is, I think, the worst in their history in the Premier League. Mm-hmm. So, I mean...
they had it.
Trust the process. Yeah, I think you just trust the process.
I mean, they've had a lot of injuries, lots of rhythm being... Well, the rhythm just hasn't been there for the past month or so. Of course, their last win was, of course, against Liverpool. And if we do move on to the Saturday matches, we have to talk about Liverpool first, because that was the first match on Saturday, and Leicester City defeated Liverpool 3-1. I think it's the first time Leicester City has defeated Liverpool, definitely since Rodgers has came there, but I'll just quickly mention I'm the Liverpool fan. I thought Liverpool played well in this match for the most part. I think Leicester still had some good moments in the first half. Liverpool were dominant, had some close chances, but it wasn't until the brilliant flick by Mr. Roberto Firmino to Mohamed Salah that was probably one of the best goals of the season, just the sequence there. But we had 7 minutes of madness, and I wasn't enjoying it, especially early in the morning. First, Thiago concedes a foul against, I think it was against Madison. The ref first gives a penalty. I'm like, I thought that was outside the box. VAR checks it. It's outside the box. Okay, we're good. We're okay. We can defend this free kick. Oh, the free kick's in. Oh, crap. Oh, they're checking for offside. Oh. Well, people are going to complain that it's offside and it's going to be disallowed and we're going to have people yelling on the internet. It's a goal. Oh, no. We're tied. A few minutes later, Kabak tries to clear the ball coming in. Out of nowhere, Alisson comes and crashes into him and Jamie Vardy has a free goal. And then the third goal, Harvey Barnes. I don't even remember this one. I think I tried to erase that out of my memory.
Yeah, to be fair, this match was 5:30 in the morning for Lucas, so that was the worst morning he could have had.
Well, I woke up at 6 a.m. and started watching the match from the beginning from there. So by the time the Harvey Barnes goal went in, I'm like, I'm just going to skip to the end. I'm not going to watch it. Nothing's going to happen. And continue. Yeah, lots of injuries for Liverpool for this one. Several injuries. Fabinho, Davis, I think Origi was injured for this one. And it just didn't go well in the end, and Liverpool lose yet again.
Yeah, Alisson now has more goalkeeper errors than Kepa. How does that feel?
It's an absolute astonishing thing that our second choice keeper is doing better than Liverpool's first choice keeper.
Just for 2 games,
on them
man.
Now.
It's been 2 games.
I know, but
Yeah, it's been bad errors. I don't know what
hold
he's thinking, but
Lucas, hold on.
Oh no.
Get ready to hear this.
I can barely hear it.
Why is this shit?
What
I was trying to banter him, man.
It's the Europa League
The
anthem.
Europa League anthem.
Well, you did a
I
terrible
wanted
job
that
bantering that. I
part.
could barely tell what that is.
Yeah, well, you know what? Whatever, man.
If
Get
you're
ready
gonna
for Europa
banter
League
me, at
next
least make it good.
It was so sad to watch the post-match press conference for Jurgen Klopp because he just looked so defeated. Yes, recently his mother passed away as well, which was really hard for him.
true.
But then he literally admitted we're not defending the title, and not necessarily a good sight to see, but it's honesty from Jurgen Klopp. You don't want to see if your manager's admitting defeat, then what does that show towards the players? I mean, Ederson has more assists now to Thiago Alcantara. Don't get me wrong, Thiago's a great player. He's getting the Jorginho treatment, and I know where that's coming from as someone that has to vividly support Jorginho. And I love JoJo's, man. He's on the back of my Italy jersey. I think that the Thiago slander is insane, but just a fun fact, putting it out there, Ederson does have more assists than him, which is not something you want to see. But all in all, Liverpool are going through a rough patch. It's simply the title winning hangover. There was a good conversation on the kickoff. I don't know if you guys watched them at all. They were talking about, is Liverpool the worst ever team to defend the title? And instantly when I started watching that, I was like, no. Because Chelsea finished 10th the year after they won the title.
United finished 8th that one season with Moyes.
And that was mainly the debate. It was the United supporter, I forgot what his name was, but he was going back and... Yeah, they were going back and forth because one of the hosts is as well as Liverpool supporter. Then he's the one who mentioned, like, are they the worst ever defending team?
No.
And simply no.
Maybe Leicester too.
Maybe no. Leicester had a good run in the Champions League, which it'll always overshadow their Premier League results, and no one had any expectations for them, so it doesn't matter. But simple as this, Liverpool will be fine. They're going through a title hangover. This was, in my eyes, I've spoken about it many times on my podcast. It was expected. Liverpool, gonna be honest, even though it wasn't one season, in my eyes, it feels like it's one season. They are one season wonders. That's just how the squad was built in my eyes. The project was built to win the titles. They won the Champions League. That same year they won the Champions League was basically a Premier League winning year. And some people could say they won 2 back-to-back Premier Leagues. Because realistically, you get 97 points. You for sure should have been winning.
Can't remember. They also won back-to-back Champions League finals. That's pretty impressive.
Exactly.
But there's a quote from James Maddison after the game. We have a lot of injuries, by the way. And then he also went on to say, it doesn't get talked about because we're not the big 6, but we are utilizing the squad brilliantly. We are right up there, and we're not up there by fluke. So,
I mean, James Maddison does a great job with his post-match interviews, to be fair
I love
to
him.
Although, I mean, yeah, Leicester did have quite a few injuries throughout the season, so they're doing quite well. I've said that they're the most balanced side in the Premier League. Obviously, Manchester City, probably the best side, and you can make that argument. But I do enjoy that Leicester City side, and they're definitely looking nearly a shoo-in. We can't really guarantee anything with how the season is going, but yeah, the top 4 is tight. Liverpool could drop into the Europa League. I hope that doesn't happen, but crazier things have happened. But I think we should move on. Before we get into the big match of Saturday, let's just quickly mention Burnley defeated Crystal Palace 3-0, and Villa versus Brighton ended as a 0-0 draw. Is there anything you guys want to add to those matches, or not really?
Things we like to see with Villa dropping points. Because now, if they win all their games in hand, they'll only be tied on points with Chelsea. So this is good trailing session going on right now with Villa.
All right, but let's
I've just noticed that with Villa, it's just, it's 50-50 with them every match day. I feel they can win, but they can also drop points. It's just credit them. They've had a good season though.
Yeah, for sure. But let's talk about Manchester City versus Spurs. The 90th minute, guys, we did the watch along for that on our Twitch channel, but let's get our thoughts on it, because on paper here, looks like it's a destruction of Spurs, the downfall of Mourinho, second season syndrome, or third season syndrome coming into the second season. What's going on? But let's just quickly talk about early in the match, because there's a penalty given. I know if you watch our Twitch, you know our opinions, but Cheyenne, what's your thoughts on that penalty?
Before we touch upon the penalty, because this happened right before it, was that Harry Kane free kick. How unlucky Spurs got to go from... I thought they scored right there. To go from scoring and then the penalty, I don't even know. It's just such a confusing call in my eyes, really. Like, you could say it's a penalty, you could say it's not a penalty. For me personally, I don't think it's a penalty. I'm going to be honest. But this is the one thing I will say. When another player goes down from making a tackle, like pretending like he's hurt, you know he's done something wrong. It's like a dog when he knows he's like pooped in the other room and he messed up and he like gives you those puppy eyes. That's kind of what, like, it's some type of giveaway that Højbjerg's giving when he's also on the ground hurt because he knows he messed up. He's trying to like get away with it. So that's how I view it, to be honest.
Yeah. It's not as bad as the Eric Dyer penalty. It was Dyer.
Oh yeah, it was Dyer. That was a brilliant dude. Dyer, he's a man right there. That's a man on the floor.
No, but yeah, that was a very, I think, weak call. I think we were shouting. We were saying, "Oh, that's dumb. That's so weak." Yeah. But I mean, there's a penalty.
I think during the game, like during the first half, we thought, okay, that's probably a penalty. But then what they showed at halftime was a different angle where it looks like Gundogan clipped Højbjerg first. So that's like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
The angles always mess us up. As men, we know this. Angles for women, angles in football, every angle. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like that. But yeah, no, it was a complete dominance from Manchester City.
Exactly. I mean, what more can you expect from them? Really, they're just putting in an incredible run of form right now. Gundogan's playing his best football of his career since for the longest time, honestly.
Gundogan for Player of the Year, maybe?
No.
No.
As long as Bruno Fernandes exists, that will never happen. That's literally the facts. But Gundogan, man, Lucas said it. He's on the form that he was during the seasons without Aubameyang, Mkhitaryan, that prime Dortmund squad. But I think he's even better than that. That third goal said it all. Gundogan, man, they don't need Aguero. They don't need Jesus. They have the best, this makeshift center forward cam player I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's so astonishing to watch. And I think everyone's talking about this as like the thrashing City had. Spurs played all right. But the thing is, what Spurs fans need to take away from this is what can they learn? Because this isn't their bread and butter. They brought Jose to win him a trophy. And this is the game that will be the Carabao Cup final. So what takeaways can you get from this game? There isn't much takeaways to take for Spurs going into this game, like after that game, because that's going to be who they're going to have to play in the final. That's who you brought Jose Mourinho in. Even though I think that final is like still like a month away, maybe a little less, they got to sort themselves out before that final. Whatever happens, happens. I don't think Spurs would be too upset to get in Europa League, because at the end of the day, they're in it right now. And this is such a tight season. I think their objective is to win a trophy. I don't believe they're in the FA Cup anymore, so it's literally Europa League or Carabao Cup or Jose's done. I don't think they're going to sack him. I don't see why you should sack him, because if you're going to take the risk of getting rid of Pochettino, who Woz knows would have taken him, Lucas knows he would take him, and I know I would take him. No, don't give me that. Don't give me that sideways look. We would all
I'm just I'm just vibing, honestly. I'm just chilling.
He's a great coach.
It's because you're on my screen. You're like, that's where you are.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah. Lucas gave me this like head nod, like, no. He's a brilliant soul, man. He's a brilliant soul you want on your touchline. This is just the reality. Sometimes Mourinho has his slumps. He's not necessarily the best always against Pep. You think about the El Clasico that ended 5-0. I think it's a typical City performance, man. This is the City that were Centurions. This team is so nice to watch if you're a City fan. I'm not. If we have to go against them, I might cry a little bit. But yeah, that's how I view that game.
Yeah, I think you said it quite well, Cheyenne. Of course, City do have Champions League coming up. Can they keep that form up, or will something random happen once again for Manchester City? Will Pep overthink it again? We'll find out when those matches come up. But you guys have a match against Newcastle tomorrow. How are you feeling about that?
It's a must-win, baby. You know, if we win it, not to rub it in your face, Lucas, we go above you guys. We're 4 points off United. You know what, man? Life's, you're in the dump of the dumps. Lucas was me like maybe 2 months ago. I couldn't talk much smack, and I didn't. I was like a humble guy. I was like, you know what? Fair is fair. We're bad. But you know what? Things are looking kind of good. I think it's going to be a 1-0, baby. I think either we'll get a PK or Timo's going to score. It's all going to be hunky-dory from there on. As much as everyone's going to be like, oh, you think Timo's going to score? Yes, I think Timo's going to score, man. He gets some ridiculous slander. Put some respect on my man's Timo's name.
I hope so. Well, he'll get respect if he starts scoring.
Anything else we should mention with the Premier League? Should we just move on somewhere else?
West Ham plays Sheffield United as well tomorrow. But yeah, we can move on, Waz.
Just quickly round up the FA Cup as well. There was some wild game. There's a wild game between Everton and Tottenham on Wednesday. 5-4, went to extra time, just back and forth. Great football. Did you guys catch that at all?
I was working.
Of course.
Yeah, jeez. Oh, damn. United defeated West Ham 1-0 in extra time. Interesting. It was kind of a boring game in my opinion. That was my opinion, but yeah. Unfortunately, no miracle run from any championship team going into the FA Cup. The quarterfinal. Oh, that's true. Actually, I totally forgot.
Yeah, even though everyone thinks they're in the Prem, but they are.
Yeah, I don't know. That's true. No, quarterfinals have been set. Everton takes on Manchester City. Leicester versus United.
Well,
Bournemouth take on Southampton. What?
If you lose to Leicester, I remember what you told me yesterday, man. I remember our conversation.
And Chelsea take on Sheffield United. Yeah, and all those take place on March 20th. So, yeah, fun times. So, yeah, I'm excited.
All right, what's next up, Walt?
So, yeah, FA Cup, it's the magic of the cup. Next up, sorry we didn't go too much into the FA Cup, but we spent a lot of time in the Premier League. So, next up on our list here, Club World Cup. Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, Tigers versus Bayern.
It's an interesting game. Bayern win the Club World Cup, of course, and
the sextuple.
No one really, sextuple. No one really is surprised, but credit to Tigres. Cheyenne, you want to touch on that CONCACAF Champions League and stuff?
Yeah, I mean Tigres played actually really well. They were kind of like the fantasy run. They played, of course, since I watched the Sounders, we were also in the CONCACAF Champions League as well. They beat LAFC in the final. They played really well. Gignac, I mean, he was the superstar for them that whole tournament. The man, as much as people, he's kind of like I don't want to say B-Tech Giroud because he's really good, but he's kind of got he's a little bit more of a mobile Giroud in my eyes. And Tigres played phenomenally, I think, in the final. It was just unlucky. It was a Pavard absolute banger to get him through. And when you're having to defend for so long in a game, it's going to be very wary on everybody. And I think, as you guys had that funny clip, when I don't know who Bayern played before, as the coach said, he's like, we're playing for fun. Yeah, it's a little bit like that for Tigres. They did have a chance to win it. I think the only upset I've ever seen in a Club World Cup final, as hard as it was to watch, is the 2012 or 13 one where Chelsea played Corinthians and we astonishingly lost. I thought maybe this could have been a year for that, but Bayern they're built different, man. They're just built different, and unfortunately for Tigres, the dream run for poor Gignac, the Big Mac, couldn't happen anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like they probably needed something more mobile to counteract Bayern in that final, because Bayern obviously do have that high line, and you can get in behind them if you play them the right way, but I think it was a little difficult for Tigres. They obviously probably were pretty tired as well. They had a game a handful of days ago, and Bayern have great depth unlike the rest of the teams in this tournament.
No, yeah. What was up with the penalty, Lucas? A lot of people were some people were saying Tigres got robbed. So it wasn't a penalty for what reason?
So the player, I think it was Pavard who had his hand on the ground. I think he was trying to get up or something like that, and it hit his hand. Now, that isn't given as a penalty, I believe. From what I know is that if you're using your arm on the ground as a balance or trying to get up or something like that, and it hits your arm, they don't give that as a penalty. Mm-hmm. So, even though
I think it's just something for Tigres fans to cling on to.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Probably. I mean, they're obviously pretty gutted. They were only losing to Bayern by that scoreline, but I think their fans can be happy that they got to a Club World Cup final, the first North American side to do that, which is incredible.
Yep.
So
it's awesome to see.
So I was thinking we would go to the Champions League, but honestly, we're gonna we'll be doing watch-alongs to the Champions League, so catch it on Tuesday, either on Twitch or YouTube. We're not gonna really discuss too much Champions, honestly. I think we'll just leave that for the watch-alongs. We did a prediction a while back, I think with Pav. So if you want to look at our predictions, Lucas and I, Pav, and I don't know who else is there, but let's talk about some banter that's gone around the world of football. Some weird shit. Liam really wanted us to talk about Charlie McNeil. Okay, let's see what Charlie McNeil. He sent us something in our group chat.
Yeah. So there's been some people talking about his recent performance this weekend, where he scored against Manchester City, and then went on and kissed the Manchester United badge. Apparently, this guy used to play for Manchester City when he was younger. Apparently, scored a bunch of goals for them during his younger days. Left the club for Manchester United and does that.
Yeah, as the post says, a future shithouse in the making. I have no issue with that.
Well, the thing is,
go on, lad.
He's done more things as well in the past. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, in that Manchester City match, he did score 4 goals against them. Earlier in the season, he shussed Liverpool's team in a celebration, and he also did a take the L dance when he scored a brace against Leeds.
Good.
What the fuck?
That's all I can say.
You're the one who bashed Griezmann for doing take the L celebration in the World
Cup. Yeah, but he plays
final.
for United, so it's all good.
What the?
Well, it's now. I hope this guy doesn't become a top player because the stuff
he'll troll you get. He'd probably like look him most alive and just do a diving celebration. Man.
He'd do the flopping fish right in front of him, like
yeah.
Moyes.
Oh god,
bro, that guy is gonna get dropped by somebody if he continues doing that.
Oh, I know. He sounds like the hockey player Matthew Tkachuk, who just does his job is to piss off players and teams. What else am I gonna bring up here? Well, interesting story coming out from Diego Costa. Cheyenne, have you heard the story?
Nah, I don't think so.
If you thought the William Saliba story was weird, so apparently this is reporting out of Diego Costa's new book called The Art of War. About he told some stories about when an athlete ran over his own dog. Apparently,
what the?
But here's it gets weirder. A new story caught the attention of the attacker's fans. Supposedly, he likes to watch pornographic films with his friends.
Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing?
I don't know, but it was in his story. It was in his book.
It was in his book. That was published.
Yes.
And edited. Why?
Supposedly, when his home became the stage for large parties where even unusual events occurred, it was common to see elderly neighbors unhappy with the celebrations held by Diego. It was during one of these parties that Diego Costa decided to entertain the guests with a pornographic film, which was seen at such a high volume that an 80-year-old woman had to go to the place and complain. Yeah.
What a way to celebrate a win.
On one occasion, the attacker and his friends were watching a pornographic film at an extremely high volume, and the poor lady was asked to turn down the volume. And Diego Costa asked, "What is the problem? Don't you like making love?"
Is he okay?
It's Diego Costa. You had him at your club.
Not for those reasons. For scoring.
Oh, Diego.
Did he do this when he was in London, or at least did it say destination?
Let me check here real quick.
Oh my god.
I feel like if it was in London, it would make a lot more
sense.
It was during his Atletico de Madrid days.
Like first go around or second go around?
Probably the first go around.
What the shit?
Right?
Why?
I don't know. He's a strange lad. Yeah.
Let's move on from that, Walls.
Alright, guys, and now time for a little bit of a transition because Matt is available with us for just a little bit here. We're going to discuss a little bit of the leagues and whatnot just with him, answer a couple questions. We're gonna start with La Liga here. Obviously, Matt being a Barca supporter. Barca have been in pretty good form recently.
They have been. It's been fucking refreshing, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, you can't complain. I mean,
makes me think we might have a chance going into this PSG game.
Yeah, it's huge, man. Like, you guys are starting to perform well. Messi's just looking like at his peak right now. Incredible goals by him, and that scoop pass or lob pass against Alaves. How were you feeling?
It was beautiful.
It was fantastic watching those highlights back because it was great. Yeah.
It was vintage Messi. I think honestly that just gives Barcelona fans and Barcelona as a whole like a lot of confidence going to the tie against PSG, considering they got Neymar out, and when you have Lionel Messi playing to his peak abilities, it's a dangerous thing. So
But even aside from Messi, Griezmann's been very good in 2021 so far.
no, yeah, I mean the whole team's been playing a bit better, and they've won 5 in a row. It seems I don't know how much more than that. The third in the league with 46 points. Atletico Madrid kind of running away with the league a little bit with 54. Real Madrid with 49. Yeah, it's an interesting little title race in La Liga.
What's going on with Coutinho, Matt?
Yeah, he ain't playing again. So, because we cannot afford to pay you assholes any more money. So
We already got the money from a bank. Now you're just paying a bank that.
yeah, all I know is if he plays 7?
I think it's 5 more
9 more
appearances.
games? Yeah, we have to give you 5 million.
Yeah, 5 more appearances, 5 more million euros, or I think euros.
Yeah, that guy's not coming off the bench,
And
you're not getting shit.
And the thing is, you guys are the same thing's happening with Ousmane Dembele, but it seems like you guys are gonna actually play him, so you're gonna have to pay 5 million euros to Dortmund.
I mean, Ousmane's worth it. It's fine. Coutinho should be worth it too, but
So is he just gonna sit there in the stands for the rest of the season?
I guess so, man. I don't know.
Guy's a little bit of a liability, I guess, financially. So
I don't know how
financial liability.
but he's definitely not going to see the pitch again until the end of the season.
Yeah. Could you imagine? They're like, hey, man, we kind of want to play you, but we really don't want to. We're going to lose money if we do. So just, here's some accommodations. Just
Such
chill
a
for a bit.
It kind of reminds me of when Arsene Wenger always subbed on Oxlade-Chamberlain late in matches because apparently there's something in his contract where if he played a certain amount of minutes, he'd get paid more or something.
Just so sad to see.
That's just weird.
You want him back, Lucas?
But
I mean, if for free, sure.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I'll give him to you for 40. 40, dude. Come on, like 50. I think 50 is a good deal. Assuming we spent 150 on him.
But no, yeah, Atletico Madrid, they got a result as well against Granada the other day. No Suarez on the score sheet, so
For once.
But no, Atletico have been playing great. Real Madrid. I'm just gonna check here the score. They beat Valencia 2-0, which it's Valencia. They've been kind of poor, but Benzema, Cruz getting the goals. So Barca though, they've been just a joy to watch. I really wish I had La Liga coverage because I'd like to watch Barca when they're in form. Messi,
I really
Griezmann.
wish you did too.
Actually, interestingly enough, Lea Equip, they released their top 20 youngsters under 20, and Ansu Fati was number 1. You guys agree with that? That's not the word. Yeah, you guys hear a vacuum. Don't worry about it. Would you say he's the number 1 under 20 player in the world?
I've seen that list. I mean, you could say at the time right now he is. You could argue him or Camavinga because they've been getting probably the most play time. I know Ansu Fati's been out, but potential-wise, I'm not really sure.
I think he could be.
Next one, the rest of the list, it's actually a top 10. Second was Eduardo Camavinga. Third, Ryan Gravenberch. Number 4 was Pedri. Giovanni Reina in 5th. Jude Bellingham in 6th. That was kind of weird in my opinion. Yadi Sharon, I probably butchered that, sorry. I don't really know about him.
Yeah, I think he's a center back at Anderlecht or something.
Okay. Mason Greenwood in 8th. See, I don't know why Jude Bellingham is above Greenwood in that. And Saka in 9th? Who made this list? It started off good, and there's a lot of question marks.
Well, what's wrong with Greenwood and Saka?
I mean, I think Saka should be.
I think they should be higher.
Oh.
Yeah, I would agree too, but I'm just saying, but Jude Bellingham in 6th?
I mean, to be fair, he had he made a big move to Dortmund, I guess. I've seen him a little bit. He's been playing quite a few games, but I just don't see anything extraordinary out of him. Just he's a 17-year-old playing in the Bundesliga. I mean, that's pretty impressive, at least.
I guess that's true, but I mean, Musiala, he's had a good, Mokoko.
I mean, Williams been playing all season though, so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can. Apologies, we didn't cover all of La Liga.
Oh,
I guess we can move on to the Bundesliga then. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we were mentioning Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez has scored 16 goals in his first 17 matches with Atletico Madrid in La Liga. This means he's achieving the best scoring start of a player with the same club in the competition in the 21st century. The previous record was Cristiano Ronaldo, who had 15 with Real Madrid.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'm just kind of curious. Should you think he'll be considered for Ballon d'Or if he keeps up this rate?
Probably not.
Hopefully not.
That'd be interesting. I mean, Barca fans are...
Suarez, Pichichi.
Yeah, can you imagine?
I don't know how he sold him.
It's probably going to be one of the worst transfers in Barca's history, and it's not even just because of, like, the players. It's just because who was it again? Bartomeu?
Yep.
Yeah. That one's gonna stink. It's gonna stink for a while, essentially.
It currently still stinks.
Should we move on? Should we just talk about Bundesliga real quick? I know a lot of people are very upset what's happening in the Bundesliga right now, with Bayern Munich, officially confirming Upamecano.
Oh yeah,
for 40 million.
That's tough.
They
man.
just.
I mean, that's how it goes.
And this is why people.
We're used to this already.
It's true. It's true.
There's nothing new.
But now it's just starting to become they're taking Leipzig's players instead of Dortmund's.
They're no longer able to buy Dortmund players, so they have to buy Leipzig.
Yeah. So
I mean,
ideally, people were thinking Upamecano would go to Real Madrid, the Premier League, Bayern. They're like, nah, we'll keep him here.
I mean, it's a smart signing by them, honestly.
It is. Yeah, I'm not.
Alaba leaving at the end of the season. Boateng, we don't know if he's staying or not. Sula's been quite inconsistent since his injury. Lucas Hernandez, I'm pretty sure, has been all right. So bring in Upamecano. That's a great center back, especially playing for Bayern, who play a high line. He's a quick enough center back to be able to deal with a high line, and it's gonna be fantastic for Bayern. It's unfortunate for
people asking
Leipzig, though.
A lot of people are asking, it's like, oh, why would he make a move to Bayern? He's already done Bundesliga, you know? Why would I mean, one of the best clubs in the world. He's likely going to win a Champions League eventually. And not only that, for 2022, I think he wants to try and fight for a starting spot in that French team for the World Cup. So
he's got a lot of French teammates in that.
That's probably another big move. Yeah. So, and he still has to win the Bundesliga. He probably wants that. I mean, a lot of people are like, yeah, he should have went to Premier League or La Liga, but
I mean, he's got plenty of time to do that. He's still early 20s.
Yeah, if Bayern's calling your name, you might as well answer it. And you're going to develop into a hell of a player with the way they've developed, Alphonso Davies and so many other players. Goretzka, Kimmich, Lewandowski. Yeah, he'll be jacked. So
I mean, he doesn't even need Bayern to do that. He's already doing that right now. And I'm sure he'll continue to do that and be a top center back. But it's not only Bayern that does that. Like, other Bundesliga teams buy from different Bundesliga clubs. Just Bayern's able to buy the best ones usually. Leipzig
are now in second. Not much really changed in the table. Bayern really couldn't play this week because they're in Qatar for the Club World Cup. Did Schalke play this week? No, Leipzig. Yeah, they beat Augsburg 2-1 to sit in second. Dortmund drew Hoffenheim 2-2. Interesting, Lucas. You had some comments about that game.
Yeah, so there's a goal in this, I think it was the equalizing goal by Dortmund, where Hoffenheim had the ball, but one of their players, I think it was De Boer, was his biggest enemy in career mode in FIFA 20.
God.
Yeah.
I think he was in the ground by, the box.
I saw that.
And Hoffenheim are still playing with it. They could kick the ball out. They very well could. Instead, they pass it backwards, and they literally pass it to Dortmund, who send Haaland in behind. He scores. It's 2-2. And Hoffenheim are just all big baby rage mad at them.
Mm-hmm. Jeez, that was weird. I mean, yeah. They just see the guy on the ground. You're like, let's just go score. Screw him. He doesn't need help.
Hoffenheim could have just kicked the ball out. It would have been...
Yeah, it's true.
They could have easily done that, and none of this would have happened. They would have won down. But you expect Dortmund getting into a goal-scoring opportunity to say, this is unfair. They gave us the ball. They gave us an easy chance to score. Their players down. Let's not score. Let's kick it out just for them.
Aside from that, it was... I mean, if you look at the scores, it was kind of a boring week in the Bundesliga. You had 3 0-0s. And then on top of that, you had 2 2-2 draws and a 1-1 draw. So you only had 2 wins.
So only
Leipzig and
Schalke picked up a
Frankfurt.
point, though.
Yeah, I mean, their season's
big news.
Yeah, tomorrow you have, the day this podcast gets released, Bayern plays Armenia. So we'll see how that turns out. Bayern obviously coming back from Qatar. We'll see who plays or not.
But yeah.
Next week in the Bundesliga, Schalke take on Dortmund, the Riviera Derby, however you say it.
Riviera Derby,
So,
I believe.
Hopefully Dortmund... Yeah, Riviera. Hopefully Dortmund can pick up some points considering they're in 6th right now.
I mean, form goes out the windows in derbies, and, well, both sides aren't in form.
Yeah. Should we move on from Bundesliga?
Yeah, I think
Serie A?
Serie A, big match just
Serie
finished
A
not
has
too
been-
long ago.
Yeah. Just as we're recording this podcast, Inter defeated Lazio 3-1, and
Big result.
they're right now top of Serie A with 50 points. Milan with 49. Milan, I think, did they drop points?
Yeah, they
week?
lost to Spezia.
Yeah, they
2-0.
lost to Spezia, and Liam was all about it. He's like, "I told you, ha 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 ha."
That guy's an
I
idiot.
mean, yeah, but Juventus lost to Napoli 1-0. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you guys weren't watching our Twitch stream, him and I were having the dumbest argument. The guy still believes Juventus can win the league, and he still thinks they're the best team in Italy, despite being 4th in the league.
Well, Juventus can still win the league. There's no
Yeah,
doubt
it's
in
not
that.
impossible.
It's just
but
that it's a lot bigger of a challenge right now,
Yeah.
especially with Inter Milan in good form, not in Europe, and having a goal scorer like Lukaku who's playing very well.
Yeah.
Inter Milan also did get a little lucky in this game, though. The penalty that was given in the 22nd minute, some contention with it because the referee gives a penalty. When you look on the replay, Hoot, or however you say the guy's name, on Lazio, he tackles the ball. Well, he kind of gets over it, but he does get contact on the ball, but he doesn't really get really get control of the ball before bringing down Lautaro
Weird.
Martinez, or he doesn't really get rid of the ball either. So people are saying that's not a penalty. He got the ball. He touched the ball. But on the other side, he didn't really have control of it or didn't really take care of it in a sense. So
Yeah.
controversy to say the least. They give the penalty. Lukaku scores it. And at the brink of halftime, Lukaku makes it 2-0. And Lazio going to halftime in the mud. But something weird happened at halftime here, which kind of confused me. Because Lazio, they went on the field like normally. You get out of the tunnel, get onto the field, get ready for the second half. But then suddenly, some substitutes start coming out. And then you see Lucas Leiva and Hoot come off the pitch all pissed off. Like, what's going on? And then you see the two substitutes just like, okay, we're coming on? Okay. And the commentators were like, what's going on here? And one of them were like, maybe Inzaghi, the coach, had this team talk, left, and completely forgot to tell them that there was going to be substitutes.
Jesus Christ, man.
It was
just a
bit of
mess.
Lazio do score, but unfortunately for them, Lautaro Martinez scores a few minutes later, and 3-1 for Inter Milan. Little unfortunate for Lazio, as I thought they played pretty well, but Inter Milan's counterattack is something else.
Yeah. And crazy enough, next week, Milan take on Inter, 7 a.m. in the morning for us. I don't think we'll be doing a watch long. It's a bit early. I'll try to wake up for it because that game sounds amazing.
I will be watching it, but
Yeah, I don't know if we'll do a watch along, guys. Pretty early. So,
That is big.
one of the biggest games in Serie A in a long time, I feel.
Yeah, that could make all the difference right now.
Yeah, and who does Juventus take on next week? I'm trying to see here.
Crotone.
Now the
Oh.
game, probably.
Yeah.
And Atalanta take on Napoli as well on Sunday.
Some
Next
good
Sunday.
games. Wow. Serie A Sunday. Let's go.
Yeah. Right now, I think is there anything else much with Serie A? I mean, Lukaku ties Ronaldo with 16 goals at the Golden Boot race. So.
R9
Yeah.
Ronaldo fanboys pissed off.
Do we move on to what do we move on to? That's Liga, maybe.
Yeah, let's
Is there anything
quickly
else?
mention Liga. And
Yeah.
I wasn't able to pay too much attention to it this weekend, but I do know Lyon lost, which is big. PSG won, and Lille drew. So
Oh yikes! Everything in PSG's favor.
this means that Lille's still in first place with 55 points,
Yeah.
but that's the first time Lille dropped points in a
PSG
while.
has 1 point behind though.
Yeah. It'll be very tough for Lille or Lyon to get out of Liga and have the victory of the title, but at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. PSG, they do play Barcelona coming up this week. I know Matt is starting to feel more confident for that.
Slightly, just a little bit.
And PSG also
Not
take on
much.
Monaco on Sunday next week.
Ooh, man, Monaco's been good this season.
A lot of good games coming up next week. So around Europe. So I'm excited. I don't know which one I'll watch, but And Lille take on, who does Lille take on? They take on Lorient, who defeated PSG. So that'll be interesting. That's actually on Wednesday the 24th. Next Sunday, yeah.
Best football duo friends.
Oh, Messi and Suarez. Man.
Suarez
Those
and
guys are
Messi?
boys. They are boys. Forever and always.
For a while, Marco Reus and Lewandowski. That was good. I'm trying to think who else.
Joe Gomez and Sterling. Love each other that one.
Oh gosh.
Jeez.
Um,
Martial, Rashford. They're bros. I don't know.
Henderson and Adam
Not as good
Lallana.
as Suarez.
Hendo and
Oh
Lallana.
God.
Any other ones we can think of? Oh, Ibra and Maxwell. Boys for life.
Oh, why is that?
I don't know, man, but they seem to like each other. It might be because they've played on 18 teams together.
Oh.
But
I know. Ronaldo and Marcelo.
Yeah, they're boys.
Yeah. Or, Ronaldo and Pepe. I don't know. When Pepe used to play for Real Madrid. Trying to think who else. Yeah. Götze and Royce was one for a bit, but Rooney and Ronaldo back in the day. I mean
I
I
thought
got
they
they
were-
long for a bit.
I don't know if they were friends.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Remember
one.
06
They're still
World Cup?
they're still friends now.
John Terry and Wayne
Aside
Bridge.
from 06. Joe, Jesus, man.
Let's move on from that question.
We have to do that. Okay.
They were friends, to be fair. And then they
Until
were
John Terry's like,
until John
I'm gonna
Terry
be a
did
homewrecker.
something,
I mean, Matt, you know what they say.
Yeah.
Keep your friends close. Well,
but not that close.
yeah.
no. Which footballer has the best free kick technique
Current or ever?
ever? I guess any footballer you think of.
Yo, let me hit Juninho.
Oh, I was going to say that.
Juninho.
Guys are mad.
Yeah.
Unreal.
I think there's a lot of
Personally, I
footballers
always
who,
liked.
who set their free kicks based on him. Like, I know Pirlo in his book, he based his free kicks based on Juninho's and how he strikes the ball.
I've always liked.
Messi's is pretty good.
I've always liked Ronaldinho's and Gareth Bale's. I don't know why. I always enjoyed the way they.
I used to love
Cristiano
back in Man U.
Ronaldo's.
Man U
Yeah, his is
specifically.
pretty iconic though.
That shit was nuts.
Yeah, his
of the goals he
stance is. You don't really see anyone else do the way Ronaldo kicks a free kick. It's not as very. I mean, as accurate as it used to be, but.
It nowhere near.
No,
I don't know
yeah.
how he got so much worse at free kicks. Honestly, it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense to me. But
David Luiz.
Pogba,
Jesus.
although he definitely has a different free kick when I penalty run. Thank God too. Fuck.
Now I don't know if we've answered this. It's another Ballon d'Or related question. We've done most underrated Ballon d'Or player, but have we done most undeserved? This
We
one
have.
is
Not
up
sure if
in
we
the air.
But I'm
Most
giving it to Luka
undeserved.
Modric.
I think there's three. Yeah, Luka Modric. I know last time we said Pavel Nedved was underrated, but a lot of people are saying that he actually didn't deserve it and Henry deserved that year. And 2010, Schneider. I think you could say maybe Iniesta deserved it that year.
Schneider didn't win it that year.
No.
Oh, I thought he did.
Schneider's another one who probably should have won it,
Yeah.
but did not.
So, no, Schneider in 2010. No, it was either him or yeah. So then Messi won it that year.
Or Ronaldo. Honestly, I'm
Yeah.
not sure anymore. It's one of
Yeah,
the
I can't
fucking
remember.
two of them.
Jeez.
It's one of them.
It was one of the two for the
So yeah,
longest
I think
time.
yeah.
But Modric is the worst one in Reese because that Ballon d'Or was horrendous.
I mean, just the voting on that too.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Messi
I think it was
got,
just
what,
voting
fifth?
fatigue at that point.
Because Messi got fifth. Somehow.
Yeah, I think Mbappe got fourth, or Griezmann did.
Griezmann got into the top 3 for
So,
sure.
Yeah, Griezmann got top.
yeah. And then 2010 was Messi who won it, but I think Iniesta or Schneider could have won it that year. Who's a player who played really well unexpectedly in the World Cup? I know there's a lot of goalies. Keylor Navas, maybe.
I mean, at the time, maybe.
Ochoa?
But yeah, because I guess Keylor Navas, I don't think he at Real Madrid at the time. I don't think so.
No.
No, I think that's why I secured his move.
Yeah, and then Ochoa, yeah.
I'll check where Keylor Navas.
Ochoa was in like some random club in Europe, I think. I feel like somewhere in Belgium or something at the time. So I guess that could be unexpected.
For Real Madrid, Keylor Navas was at Levante. There's a few other players I feel that played really. I mean Denis Cherchev.
Oh yeah,
Russia. A few of the Russians that played really well out of nowhere. Dali Blind for the Dutch back in 2014.
I feel like James Rodriguez was a lot better than people were expecting him to be in that tournament.
He was a good player at the time, but like he just completely outclassed everyone.
Yeah.
Sully Muntari for Ghana.
What's that guy? Asamoah
Good old Sully
Gyan?
Muntari.
Asamoah Gyan.
Yeah.
That guy was class, dude. Until he fucked that penalty.
Probably El Hadji Diouf in 2002.
Jeez.
That guy.
That's such a prick.
And then one last question from TikTok.
Sure, why not?
The best national team coach. Now, I feel like a lot of people are going to say Del Bosque, but I'm going to go with the Dutch manager in 1974.
Michels?
Yeah, there was a lot of hype around him, Rinus Michels. A lot of people rate him as like the second greatest manager of all time next to Ferguson, or third. He's like top 5 of all time. And he basically kind of helped invent total football, I think, at the time.
Oh yeah, he definitely had a huge influence on the Ajax sides before in Barcelona at the time as well. When Cruyff went there, I think he was a manager there.
You got to give it to Joachim Low. He was also, I think he deserves to be pretty high up there.
But then he had the 2018 World Cup, which
which is just one, innit? One slip.
I mean, it's a pretty massive slip, to be fair.
It was a pretty big slip, but
I mean, Rinus Michels, he went to the final in 1974, and they won the Euros in 1988. So
I read about this guy in my Rayo Vallecano book about being like a manager that plays a great style of football. But he actually did win the World Cup as the Argentina manager in 1978, Cesar Luis Menotti.
Never heard of him. That's some stuff you only get in the Vallecano book.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the manager
actually,
of the World Cup.
funny enough, Rinus Michels, I'm sorry if I butchered his name, he actually got named ESPN's second greatest manager of all time in 2013, the second greatest manager of all time. France Football named him the greatest manager of all time, and he won FIFA Coach of the Century in 1999. So, yeah.
Yeah, probably him then. That's a lot of accolades.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go to questions now from Instagram. We answered some TikTok with Matt. Natty Mons asks, do you think Pep would do good at a smaller mid-table club? Depending on their youth talent, I think. Other than that, it's hard to say.
I mean, I feel like if he had like the Aston Villa side, something like that, he'd probably do a pretty good job with them. Like, if he has players that are talented, like, talented players play for mid-table clubs. They're not just at the top. Now, to what extent that success would be, that's another question. And he could probably get a mid-table club into European places. I'm pretty sure of that.
I'm going to say hot take no. I don't think... You know, there's always the stigma with Pep, like, he was only good when Messi was by his side. That's not necessarily true, but it is kind of true. You know, it's like... He hasn't been able to hit the heights that he ever had with Barcelona. You know, he had his, like, dude, that was his perfect mold, you know? That Barcelona team was the perfect Pep Guardiola masterclass squad. Then, you know, he came to Bayern, obviously won the trophies he needed to win. He never was able to get to a Champions League final with them. Then comes to City, kind of the same thing. Won everything for the most part he was supposed to. Yes, overachieved in regards to points, records broken, win streaks, etc. If he was at a mid-table team, to piggyback off Lucas, I think he would do well with talented players, yes. But there's only so much you can do, and I think you'd only do bare minimum expected. So let's say, who would be a talented team? I'm just thinking Brighton off the top of my head. Have talented players, very skillful players. I'd say at best maybe get him Europa League. At best. I don't see him doing anything that much more insane that another manager could do if they had the right tools.
No, I think he's 100% right. Like you said, Aston Villa is a perfect example. Like if he has the right players, right youth, I think he'd do fine. Players who want to win. I'm sorry, if he took over a club like Newcastle and he has the likes of John Joe Shelby, I don't think he'd do well. Jeff Hendrick, I thought he was a baller at one point. I don't know if he'd do well under Pep.
After one goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question. Who do you think will qualify for the World Cup from CONCACAF? Cheyenne? This is better for you.
Oh, God.
we
From
could answer all of them.
CONCACAF?
Yeah.
I mean, you're part of it too. What do you mean?
Yeah, but I mean, you pay attention more than I do to CONCACAF.
I think Canada. We have to talk about them first. No.
Okay.
I know who paid me. Where's the money at? I think Canada, obviously, as much as the Americans love to be like, we got Gio Reyna, we got Tyler Adams, we got Christian Pulisic, I still think it'll be a tough run for them because they all haven't played with each other. But of course, you think USA is going to be a big one that will most likely make it in. I'm just going to quickly look up the pool of CONCACAF qualifiers. I don't think we'll see another. Okay, if you could let me just double check on the teams.
Yeah.
Jamaica, 100%. I think they have a pretty good shot at it. Jamaica have a great national team. They've played well, always making Gold Cup finals, semifinals, giving a run for their money for the United States. Because let's be real, I forgot that we didn't even mention it. Mexico's a shoo-in. If we're talking about shoo-ins, Mexico's the only shoo-in I can say. I think Canada's up in the air, Jamaica's up in the air. It's like two surprise countries. USA should be a shoo-in, but they always make things complicated for themselves. But let's be real. I think they'll do it. The whole them saying they're going to be like dark horses in the World Cup, a little bit of a stretch, but I'd say maybe them.
Yeah. I think the only guarantees should be the US and Mexico at this point. I know the USA didn't qualify last time around, but their team now has a bunch of players in Europe compared to MLS, which, I mean, of course, MLS has been improving as a league, but we know it's not as strong as Europe. But, like, Costa Rica, they're kind of slowing down in recent years from what I've heard. Honduras, I heard, is decent. Jamaica has some solid players, and the teams that qualify, likely, if we're with this Wikipedia page I'm looking at, I'm going to guess, like, El Salvador, Canada, Curacao, Panama, Haiti, Trinidad. 3 of those teams would get to the next round. Out of those teams, none of those are guarantees either, so it is up in the air. It's a tough question. I think Canada has, for the most part, players capable of qualifying.
I think also Canada's biggest issue is they never had the players. They were actually always a decent national team, but they never had like these standout players. Now they have the likes of Jonathan David, Alphonso Davies. Like the key guy. As much as people may forget about him, the key guy for Canada used to be Dwayne De Rosario. He was the king of Canada, and he, as much as he was good, he's not like Davies, Jonathan David good. And now they have the players like that. I think Canadians, like you guys too, should have the expectation of qualifying for World Cup.
I would hope so. I hope we can get closer than before. Jonathan David was also top goal scorer, I think, at the Gold Cup, or tied. He was near there last time until we got that disgusting loss to Haiti, which I don't want to talk about.
Well, we have to talk about that because if Canada win their group and play their playoff match to get into the final round of CONCACAF qualifying, they would likely have to play Haiti.
God damn it. It's not even the fact that we lost to Haiti. It was the dumbest red card I've ever seen.
I think you guys have a good shot. It's just, I think the biggest issue with the reason why it's so up in the air for us to talk about is due to the coronavirus stuff. We haven't been able to see the countries play with this new generation of players. That's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
I'm mainly talking about the U.S. because obviously they're the ones that are most televised here. But in general, even Mexico, because they have a new budding talent. They need to gel in with their more experienced players. Same with Canada. Same with Jamaica. Even same with Honduras. Honduras have players playing in the Liga, scoring winning goals against Real Madrid. You never know. Right now it's just they need to play together. That's the thing.
Next question from Rowies. Is Leicester the new 6 in the top 6?
They have been since they won the Prem.
I think that they've kind of knocked Arsenal out of there. And
is he saying them. Like Big 6?
Yeah, the thing, I don't know if he's Big 6, because I think in terms of Big 6, it's all about like financials, branding. I mean, James Madison doesn't think they're a top 6 team, so. But, I mean, they're slowly making their mark, I think.
Financially, getting into that Big 6 takes time. Like, Spurs eventually got to that point. That took them a long time to do. I think if certain clubs don't get their stuff together, I think Leicester can sneak in. I think they're very well run. They make good signings. They sell players at the right time and for great fees. And they have a manager at the helm who can lead them to good placements in the league. I do question whether he can reach the final point, whether that's winning a trophy or securing top 4 with Leicester. Hopefully he does prove me wrong. That'd be great. But out of the teams in the top 6 that would fall out, it's very difficult to say because those teams are loved all around the world. I think that'd just take time.
From B. Tylera 2, is Prime KDB the most gifted passer of all time? If not, who? I don't know. Xavi and Iniesta both were pretty damn good at that. Zinedine Zidane, Paul Scholes, Andrea Pirlo. I don't really view KDB as the most gifted passer. I just find him to be one of the most complete midfielders of all time. I think he just has everything he needs in his toolkit.
Yeah, you think you think passer, you think Pirlo. I think Waz says it well. Yeah. Xavi and Iniesta.
It's hard to beat those.
Yeah, I think I can't really say anything else. Was kind of hit the nail on the...
Yeah, Anthony Mazuka, 19, asks, out of all the young players, who is the best feature and a chance to be the best? Mbappe, we know, Haaland, we know, but
João
Foden.
Felix.
Yeah, João Felix. I think I'm going to go Foden, though.
Not Mason Mount?
How old is Mason Mount?
22, baby. Not Saka,
I feel like he's been around forever, that's why.
Not Gio Reyna.
Alphonso Davies.
As much as Alphonso Davies, I think as much as everyone thinks Christian is one of the biggest stars, I think Gio Reyna is the next big thing for the U.S. and I think he will be better than Christian Pulisic. And I actually think Hall, like one of the guys we mentioned, Holland has such high praise for Gio Reyna, and they could be a tandem.
Yeah.
Depending if Dortmund are able to keep them together, I'm gonna say Gio Reyna. Actually, I'm not a USA supporter. But you know what? He is good. He's next. He's built different.
Guys, I know you might think Cheyenne is a state supporter. He supports Iran more so.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, there you go.
We're just best country in the world. Come
on. But yeah, I'll go with Phil Foden. I think there's a reason why Pep Guardiola praises him so high. So, and you see it on the pitch.
It depends what age range you're going with, because like João Felix, he's probably is going to be next level. He's already performing so well for Atletico Madrid, but I think that's kind of an obvious one. So like below, and I still think you can't sleep on Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho, even though this is a slow season for him, he's still actually doing quite decent when you look at it. And those last few seasons, he's performed at an exceptional level, and I think he's definitely going to be a player people will remember for a long time.
Insert Curtis Jones for Lucas.
I don't think Curtis Jones is the best youngster at Liverpool. I think Harvey Elliott will become a better player than him. They do play different positions, but what I saw from Harvey Elliott at 16-17 in his brief appearances at Liverpool, you could see there's something to this kid.
Guys, it's Amad Diallo.
He's right. Shit, we forgot.
Yeah, he'll be good. Hopefully, I don't know. He's never really played a Premier League game yet, so it's hard to say. But yeah, I don't know if YouTube, if we got questions. Favorite player to never play for your nation or support a club? As an English United fan, it's Ramos for me.
Can you repeat the question one more time, please?
Favorite player to basically not play for your nation or club. Mine, Lionel Messi.
This is a tough one.
He's the best. He's the GOAT.
This is a tough one. I agree.
Because I was going to say one, but I'm like, all right, he did play for Liverpool. That's why I liked him.
Well, if you add in the nation thing, it could help you out a little bit. For me right now, I think I'd love to see Jahan Bosch play for Chelsea. It's just simple as that. That'd be the absolute dream to see Ali Reza, who's playing on Brighton right now, play for Chelsea. To have my favorite national team player play for them. And plus, honestly, we kind of need a right winger. So, as I always say, never hurts to sign him. You know, he was the best player in the Eredivisie when he was there with AZ, and that would be a dream. You know, to see an Iranian play for one of the Champions League squads. Oh shit, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
For me, I think if we're avoiding any Liverpool player, which is the club I support, and Canada and Poland, I think for all-time players, so I would say Thierry Henry. For current players, I would say Ndombele or Fekir. Those are two of my favorite players.
Yeah, for my current players would be probably Messi, and then past, I want to say Ronaldinho.
Ooh, I like this past option. Okay. Yeah.
Or Zidane or Cruyff.
I would want Torres on the Iran national team. Bring him in. Put him on the Iran national team.
Fernando.
Okay, not bad.
All right. So one more YouTube question was?
Sure. Margaret Howley asks, who is your favorite rival player? Right now, I mean, as much as Mohamed Salah dives, I've always been a big fan of him.
Whee!
Yeah.
Lucas,
yours is Paul Scholes, right? You play very similarly to him.
No. I think the one I would probably choose, it has to be from Man United, I guess, because that's Liverpool's biggest rivals. I'm not going to choose an Everton.
It's Vidic, right?
I mean, no.
I think at this rate you should pick an Everton one just to disrespect Waz.
If I were to pick an Everton one, I think I'd choose James Rodriguez. But
of course he would, yeah.
For Manchester United, let's go with Paul Pogba.
Okay, fine.
I mean, I've always thought he was a great player.
It's easy peasy for me. You know, he's a man. He's a certified beauty. I want Saka at Chelsea. I give a limb in real life. I want Saka at Chelsea. He is the bread and butter, ancestor of Ashley Cole. Yes, I know he doesn't play left back anymore, but I see Saka play left back. I see Ashley Cole play left back. I see Saka play for Arsenal, not win trophies. I see Ashley Cole when he is not winning trophies for Arsenal. Then he comes to Chelsea, and we see his full-blooded potential.
I think we're starting to see that
winning
now.
Trophies, playing for a good team. Exactly. See, Lucas is on the vision.
What?
I want Saka at Chelsea, man.
I
Marina, if you're listening to this, sign him.
I wasn't saying for that his. I was saying right now at Arsenal, you're seeing his potential.
But we want to see the full potential at Chelsea.
You're not a fan of Chilwell, Mr. Chilly?
No, I mean, dude, who would not want Saka on their team? I love Chilwell and all, but dude, Saka, oh my god. He is just so good. He's 19, man, and he's tearing up in the Prem. His team's just bad. Imagine if he played with a good team. Come on now. Come on, Saka. We all know. Play for a team, win some trophies, play some Champions League. We love you, man. Come in. I give you a hug. I'd sign the papers for you. Dude, I want him so bad at Chelsea.
Jeez.
I don't think Arsenal will let another
I don't think
Arsenal
so.
player go to Chelsea, especially with all the Chelsea players coming to Arsenal.
I know.
But I think that's it for the podcast. I think we've discussed a lot of crazy stuff. Shout out to Cheyenne for stopping by. We needed someone. You don't forget to use code 90th, 20% off checkout for Manscape, guys. Thank you for just tuning in. Thank you for your time and for listening to audio apps. And yeah, as Liam always says, that has yet been another week in the beautiful game. Probably didn't say it as good,
No, you didn't.
but Liam, I miss you. I hope you're okay.
Take care, guys.